Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. I'm just going to send up a poll here to make sure you can see their slide and that you can see our screen and hear my voice. You can go ahead and respond to that in the chat. We're looking to make sure you can see the slides and hear my voice. Perfect. Excellent. All right. If we run into any trouble today, if you run into trouble, your connection gets unstable, you have to go out, just come back in again. That's not a problem. This is being recorded and you will have an opportunity to request the recording afterwards as well. The chat is open this morning. My wonderful colleague Camille is with me. So Camille will be happy to respond to any questions you have in the chat as we go along. So feel free to put those in there as well. First thing we're going to start with here is, of course, we've been doing a little bit of housekeeping, telling you that this is going to be recorded this morning and that hopefully you can see and hear my voice. The other thing is, my name is Shannon. I introduced you to Camille, who's running our chat, but I didn't introduce myself. So I'm Shannon. I'm a student recruitment advisor for Calgary high school students. You can see here on the slide, there is a scan code, a QR code there. Go ahead, take out your phone. If you scan that QR code, it's going to give you my contact information. It's going to allow you to be able to reach out to me after this presentation with your questions and ask me whatever you might have regarding the University of Calgary, undergraduate admissions, awards, and things like that. Once you put your information onto that QR code, your name and your email, you're going to get a couple of emails from me. One of those emails is going to talk to you about important dates and deadlines, give you some information about awards and things like that. And of course, the most important part of all of that, having that QR code, is once you've applied to the University of Calgary, it will allow me to watch for your application as well. So I'd like to begin today by respectfully acknowledging the traditional territories of the people of the Treaty 7 region in southern Alberta, which includes the Blackfoot Confederacy comprising the Siksika, Piikani, and Kainai First Nations, as well as the Tsuut'ina First Nation and the Stoney Nakoda, including the Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Wesley First Nations. The City of Calgary is also home to Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. So the University of Calgary, we are a top 6 research university in Canada. So we're doing lots of research in all of our programs, all of our faculties. You can see here we have 5 campuses for the University of Calgary. The main campus, which is where most of you are going to come, you're going to do your undergraduate degree. That's your bachelor's degree. We're going to talk about that a little bit further as we go along this morning. But that's where you're going to come up and do your undergraduate studies with us. We have 5 campuses. The main campus, as I mentioned, we have our Spy Hill campus, which is where our veterinary medicine is housed. We have our Foothills campus, which is where our medicine is and things like that are housed. We have our downtown campus, which is where you'll see our Masters in Public Policy, as well as our Masters in Architecture, Planning, and Landscape as well. And then, of course, we have our Qatar campus as well. You can see here that we have over 28,000 undergraduate students that call the University of Calgary home. When you add our graduate and our postdoctoral as well as our professional degrees, that number will climb up to around 34,000 there. So when we talk about 28,000 plus students, you're probably wondering, how is that going to work for me? I'm one person. So our classrooms, think about being in your biology or your social studies classroom and the teachers at the front of the room talking. And you're getting all your information on that topic, on that chapter. Same as with our professors, their classrooms just happen to be a little bit bigger. So they could be between 100, 200, a little bit more than 200 there. So you get that information. Then from there, you might go into a lab or you might go into a tutorial. That's where you're going to see that class is going to get smaller for you. It's going to be that 23-to-1 student to faculty ratio. All of our faculty do offer office hours as well, so lots of ways to connect and get additional support with your learning that you're doing as well. As you move through your degree, of course, you're going to see that your classes are going to get smaller as well as you become more specialized there. You will see here we have a 94% graduate employment rate as well, and that's really important for you to know because that means our graduates are getting hired. So 6 months out, our graduates are 94% are hired full-time in their field of study as well. So this is an aerial view of the University of Calgary. What you will notice throughout as we go through my presentation this morning, you are going to see that we have lots of QR codes there that are make it so you can scan and learn more information about what we're talking about as well. I invite you to go right ahead and do that. So in this QR code here, this is our aerial view, of course, of the University of Calgary. That QR code is going to open up a 360 Google map view of the campus as well. So located in the northwest quadrant there, as you can take the train, the C train, straight up to the University of Calgary. You get off at University Station. It's a short hop across that bridge there, and it will bring you in less than 5 minutes to the first building on campus. All of our buildings, of course, are connected by +15s. So what that means is all of the buildings are connected by above ground tunnels. So you don't ever actually have to go outside if you want to move between all your buildings and stay inside. But the beautiful park-like campus, it's hard to resist not being outside and enjoying the beautiful weather. And you'll see students out there having coffee and tea, their lunch, meeting up with friends, playing Frisbee and everything on that campus as well. So it's really important to the University of Calgary, of course. We want you to think about how do you build that experience for yourself. Yes, we want you focusing on your academics, but we want you to create a memorable, unique experience for yourself. So think about how you've been in high school and how you've created that high school experience for yourself. You've got your extracurricular, you've got your volunteering, maybe a part-time job, maybe you're involved in athletics or music or drama. You've got your group of friends as well. Well, we've got all of those experiences and we want you to find your place and build your community at UCalgary as you go through. You start by doing that in your first year. If you're maybe interested in sustainability, you might be interested in something like our community garden. Student Union is always hosting lots and lots of different events. UCalgary cares. We are a caring community and we take a great deal of pride in our students and our community giving back. So giving back on campus, whether or the city or nationally or globally. And this is volunteering. For those of you that like to volunteer or maybe you'd like to start volunteering, when you come to the University of Calgary and you do that, you're going to collect those hours on your co-curricular transcript so that when you leave the University of Calgary, you graduate at the end of your time with us, you will have your academic transcript as well as your co-curricular transcript. What a great way to network with other people, make friendships, and volunteer with people who share a similar passion to you as well. Our Emerging Leaders program is for those of you that are interested in building your leadership skills. You join other like-minded individuals. You're going to take some seminars and workshops together. You're going to volunteer together. This is a great opportunity for you as well. Lots of different ways to build out your experience on the University of Calgary. We have, of course, 300 plus clubs on campus. So we have, during that first week on campus, you're going to come out and you're going to have an opportunity. The clubs are all going to set up on campus and you can come up and explore all the different clubs you're interested in. That QR code is going to take you right to the site where all the clubs are housed and you can learn a lot more about different ones. But we have academic clubs, we have cultural clubs. The oldest club on campus, of course, is our ski and snowboard club where you can get discounted lift tickets for the different hills around Calgary. We have, maybe you want to try something you've never tried before. Maybe you want to try salsa dancing, or you can't find whatever you're interested in. If you can't find something out of the 300 plus clubs to join, then you and 9 friends will approach the Student Union and work to set up a club for yourself there as well. Talking about getting active, of course, we want you to get active and stay active, of course. That's part of that school life balance. So your student card is going to get you access to all of the amenities that you see on the slide here. So you can come into access our fitness center, so you can lift weights, you could go on the treadmill, take part in the fitness classes. You can go and skate at the Olympic Oval like these students are doing. Our outdoor center is the largest of its kind in North America, of course. And this is where you can come and rent outdoor equipment to give it a try at a discounted rate. So you might want to be coming out and looking at maybe trying snowshoes or something because you've never tried that and a group of friends want to go do that, you go and get those at a discounted rate. If you're somebody who's interested in more organized activities, that would be our 50 intramural sports teams as well. And you can choose between more recreational or more competitive leagues as well. I am just going to put us on pause for a second. I'm going to have Bobby tell us a little bit more about her UCalgary experience.
My name is Bobby Bedard. I'm from St. Bruce, Saskatchewan, and I study kinesiology at UCalgary. I live on campus in Cascade Hall. Well, I enjoy it because it's really close to classes and I'm close to the services that UCalgary has to offer. I spend a lot of time in the kinesiology building even when I'm not in class. I often study in the area overlooking the pool and I exercise in the fitness center. My favorite classes involve learning about the body and human health, especially the hands-on labs. The profs in kinesiology are great. They go really into depth about the topics that are super interesting, and they're always ready to answer questions, and they have plenty of office hours to help out if you have anything you need. The faculty advisors in kinesiology have been really helpful. They provide information regarding which classes I need to take and help me get enrolled in them. I came to UCalgary because the kinesiology faculty is highly rated, but I also came because of the city itself. One of my favorite things to do in the city is go to Princess Island Park when it's nice out and walk around and study. UCalgary also has a great sense of community. One of my favorite events is the Crowchild Classic hockey game between the UCalgary Dinos and the MRU Cougars, and they play at the Saddle Dome. I'd sum up my life at UCalgary as very busy but also very exciting. I think it's important to find a balance between school and the rest of your life.
All right, so that's a great way for you to learn a little bit more firsthand about Bobby's experience, and I'm hoping that starts to get you excited about the experiences and how you can make UCalgary your experience as well. I want to talk to you now a little bit about our work integrated learning, and this is really exciting. There's opportunities for you to be involved depending on the programs you're choosing, lots of different ways. So you could choose whether it's maybe your program will have a capstone or a co-op education or an internship. There might be a paid research opportunity depending on your program, lots of different ways. Let me talk to you a little bit about co-ops and internships. Those are paid work experiences, so a great way to network, build the skills out on your resumes. You're going to get some paid work to help you pay for that university experience, of course. When you're talking about co-ops and internships, you can see there that the co-op education is offered through arts and commerce as well, but the internships are engineering and science. Let me just explain a little bit about the difference between the two, as they are both paid work experiences for you. The co-op is under a year in length, so they tend to be 6, 8, or 12 months in length. They are paid opportunities. Students who do co-op educations tend to do 2 to 3 co-ops. Internships are longer in length. They are 12 to 16 months in length. With the engineering one, you typically do your internship between your 3rd and your 4th year. So when you're doing a co-op or an internship, it will extend the length of time you are doing your studies with us at the University of Calgary. But that's great because you're building out those other pieces. You can see a practicum. Those are those clinical hours, those practicum hours through education and nursing, for example. There's lots and lots of opportunities for you to be involved in the different work integrated options we have. And I invite you to reach out and ask about the ones you're interested in and because of the program you're interested in as well. Student supports, I tend to spend a lot of time on our student supports because I'm really proud of how all-encompassing the University of Calgary student supports are. We want you to be successful students with us at the University of Calgary, and we've spent a lot of time developing some really comprehensive supports for you. Now, these are not all of the supports we have on this slide. They wouldn't all fit, of course, but they are some to get you started to start thinking about that. The biggest thing about student supports is just ask and somebody will help you find what you need. So we have career services. This is a great opportunity for you if you're looking for interview practice, you want help writing your resume, you're looking for a job, they have a job board. Maybe you're not sure how that biological sciences degree is going to translate into a career. They can offer you one-on-one career advising. Maybe you're somebody who isn't sure what you want to do and you're maybe changing your mind. Once again, that one-on-one career advising. For many of us at the University of Calgary, it's the first time we're going to be working with our own budget. So that budget, we need a little bit of help maybe. How do we build that budget? How do we manage that budget? Financial aid office has Money Smart educational workshops. Our Student Success Center, this is one that's available to you from the very beginning, though many students will quite often wait until their midterm or their first semester is done, but it's actually available from the very beginning. You will actually see that you will be invited to take part in some different seminars and workshops as you start to prepare to come to the University of Calgary that summer right before, so like in that August. They offer lots of different very timely workshops and seminars for you, depending on where we are in the academic calendar. So as we get started to in the beginning of our school year, of course, there are things like how do you transition to the University of Calgary? How do you take notes from the professor who's talking at the front of the room? Organization skills, time management. As we move towards our midterms and our finals, of course, they're going to offer things like how do you study for those midterms? How do you prepare for a short answer, long answer, or a multiple choice exam? Things like that. They also offer things like writing support center. So maybe you're writing that paper for the first time and you need a little bit of help with the editing, the grammar. This is where you could come to that. Maybe you're not sure how to cite it because you're not sure what MLA, Chicago style, or APA style are. They can help you with that as well. I'm going to pick on math for a moment. We also offer peer-led study sessions. So what that means is if you're in that math class and you went to lecture, then you went to lab, then you went to tutorial, and you needed just a little bit more help to get that math information into your head, you could come and take part in peer-led study sessions. They offer them in lots of different topics, not just math, of course. You can see on here as well, we also have our student wellness, our Q Center, our Writing Symbols Lodge. One that's not on here is our student accessibility services. They offer both short and long-term support to students. What do I mean by short-term? Short-term support, maybe you're out during reading break and we wouldn't want this to happen. You fall and you break your wrist while you're snowboarding. You come back to campus and you have a cast on your hand and you need a little on your wrist and you need some support there. You need somebody to help scribe your work for you. You could approach the Student Accessibility Center and they would work with you on a short-term basis. Now, maybe you're somebody who has an IPP from high school, and maybe you need larger print in your textbooks. Maybe you need a scribe, you need quiet time, you need extra time, whatever it might be. That's where you would go for that as well. There's lots of different services, and I know we haven't hit on all of them, but please, if you have questions about that, reach out. Camille's happy to expand on that in the chat, or you can always email us later as well. We are all Dinos and we are the home of the Dinos. So for those of you that are interested in playing varsity sport with the University of Calgary, you go to the godinos.com website there. You reach out to the coach in the sport you are interested in playing and you're going to connect and they will tell you what the next steps are. If they need a highlights reel, if they have an ID camp coming up, whatever it is they need, they will tell you. For those of us that are in grade 12 and interested in playing varsity sport, I would suggest you start reaching out immediately. If you're in grade 10 or 11, it's never too early to start as well. Now, with our varsity sports, of course, we invite all of our fans, on which are Dinos. We ask you to come on out. So bring your student card. Your student card gets you access to all of the varsity home games. Come on out and cheer on the Dinos to victory. You can come out to the Pack the Jack night. There's lots of different fun activities. Get a group of friends together on a Friday night to come on out and wear your red. Golfing should also be added here to the varsity sports. That's gone from the club side to the varsity sports side this year as well. And if you're interested in some of the clubs, you can also reach out and we're happy to talk to you about those as well. So Bobby was also mentioning that she lived on campus, and living on campus is something that is open to all of our students. You just need to apply for residence by May 1st, and you're guaranteed 2 years of residence when you apply. If you already know that you have a friend that you would like to live with and they want to live with you as well, you both put your names down and you'll be matched up. Otherwise, you take part in our matching service. It's a quick little survey. It's going to ask you some questions, answer it honestly, and they'll match you up with somebody as well. It's a great way to be a part of that campus community. You have a short commute, of course, to the University of Calgary. They have lots of different activities that go on. Many of the students in residence will join intramural leagues together. They will take part in theme nights. Different community activities as well. When you're living in campus with us, of course, you take part in the All You Care to Eat meal plan. And how does that work? You can see the landing here, which is where our students come to eat. You bring your card, and as you come into the landing there, you swipe your card. Now you're in the landing and you can choose to eat as much or as little as you want to eat at that meal. You're not worrying about a declining balance on your student card as much as you want to eat. So if you want to eat 2 or 3 platefuls of food because you're really hungry, go right ahead. Maybe you're a little bit nervous because you got your presentation going on in a little bit. You want to eat something a little bit lighter. You can do that. For our students who are going to commute to the University of Calgary, we invite you to take part in the 120 swipe plan. It works the exact same way. You're welcome to come onto the landing and swipe your card and enjoy a meal with us as well. So for those of you that are going to have a long day on campus, maybe you're going to be with us from 8 a.m. till 9 p.m. on a day, that might be a great opportunity to take part in lots of different food options at the landing there as well. Or maybe you've got a group of friends who are living in residence and there's a theme night coming up, or you're going to do some activities with them. You might want to come and share a meal with them there as well. There are 8 faculties on campus that the university, there are 8 undergraduate faculties that high school students can apply to directly from high school. So you are a high school student, and we're going to start talking about that. There are over 250 different programs and combinations that you could choose from. So we're going to try and highlight some of those for you here today. The Faculty of Arts, which is the first one there, is the largest faculty on campus, and it's for our students who are interested in the humanities, the social sciences, or the fine arts. So if you're somebody who's interested in visual studies or dance, drama, music, that would be there. English, history, languages, sociology, psychology, anthropology. Just want to point out that some of our Bachelor of Arts are also offering a Bachelor of Science. So for example, the Bachelor of Science Psychology is also offered as a Bachelor of Arts. You will find those ones that have both an arts and a science offering, so psychology, anthropology, things like that. You will find them housed in the Faculty of Arts because arts is their home base. The Faculty of Science has 17 different program areas for you to choose from. You can choose from honors programs directly out of high school, or you can choose other programs and choose all of our programs. If there is an honors offering directly from high school, there is also some that will have offers that turn to honors in your upper years. So let me just pause before I finish the faculties here and just explain what I mean by honors. Honors in high school, if you have an 85% average or higher, you're on the honor roll. If you have a high GPA at the University of Calgary, we're going to put you on the Dean's List. So honors is a little bit differently at the University of Calgary. Honors is designed for those of you that are interested in pursuing some unique research, okay, in your upper years of your program. Now, don't worry, you don't need to have that unique research question ready to go just yet. There's going to be lots of time for you to develop that. But in that honors program, you're saying, I want to do unique research. So I'm going to declare that from high school, and I'm going to take some unique research type questions to start building those skills. They're going to be very prescribed for me when I'm in my first few years. I'm going to be asked to maintain a course load as well as a GPA. In my upper years of my program, typically my 4th year, I'm going to take and develop my unique research question, and I'm going to follow it through the whole research process. So taking that question, developing that question, it gets approved through ethics. You gather the data, you analyze the data, you write up your thesis, you defend your thesis as part of your capstone degree requirement. Okay, so now what happens if I'm not sure I want to be involved in honors right now out of high school, or my program doesn't offer honors right out of high school? I can choose that later on down the road. I can apply for honors down the road. So you don't need to choose honors right now, but it is an option for you. So in the Faculty of Science, honors, for example, would be neuroscience. That could be a choice for you right there. Zoology, plant biology, those could be an honors program directly from high school. And let's move on to the Haskayne School of Business. They have 16 different concentrations in there that students can combine. And the unique offering that the Haskayne School of Business offers, they offer combined degrees if you're interested combined with kinesiology. So you could get combined Faculty of Kinesiology, the Bachelor of Kinesiology combined with the Bachelor of Commerce. That's a 5-year degree. You could do the Haskayne School of Business, or the Bachelor of Commerce combined with the Schulich School of Engineering. That is a very unique offering to do Bachelor of Commerce and your engineering, and it comes out with 2 degrees in 5 years as well. If you're not sure what you want to study right away in the Haskayne School of Business, that's okay. Pick general commerce to start. Get those general commerce courses started in your first 2 years, and then in your upper years of your program, you would declare your major into accounting, finance, marketing, or whatever it might be. The Schulich School of Engineering you will do a common first year when you first begin at the University of Calgary. So that's going to give you exposure to all of the different concentrations majors in engineering. So you're going to see some electrical engineering, you're going to see some civil engineering, chemical engineering, software engineering. And then towards the end of your first year, you then pick your major that you're interested in, and that will be what you'll pursue and move on with as well. There are 7 majors to choose from and lots of different minors. One of the newest minors that we started offering last year, was our aerospace engineering as well. The Faculty of Kinesiology, as you heard Bobby say, it is a top-ranked program. It is a #1 kinesiology program in North America, and this is for students who are interested in sports science. If you're interested in sports science, this is where you want to come and bring your studies to. One of the interesting things about the Faculty of Kinesiology, of course, is we are one of 4 universities, the only Canadian university doing NFL concussion research. That's a $12 million research grant for the University of Calgary and that Faculty of Kinesiology. One of the newest ones that's quite interesting that's going on is wearable technology, and that's being done by our citizens, scientist citizens, they call it, or citizen scientists. We have our Workland School of Education, and this is for students who are passionate about teaching, who want to share their knowledge and who want to become teachers. There are 3 different pathways you can choose to becoming a teacher. The first pathway, of course, is 4 years direct entry into education, and you go in and you get your education and you come out being able to teach K to 12, and that's in 4 years. There is specific requirements for that. If you want to do a combined degree, this is where you're going to combine the Bachelor of Education with another bachelor's degree. So maybe I want to be an English teacher. I would combine the Bachelor of Arts in English combined with education, or a Bachelor of Science Mathematics with education. So what happens is in 5 years, you come out with 2 degrees, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Education, and a Bachelor of Education, for example. The other pathway to the University of Calgary for education, of course, is maybe I'm in chemistry, the Bachelor of Science Chemistry, and I'm in my 4th year, and I've decided, you know what, I'm really passionate about chemistry. I would love to share my knowledge and teach other people about chemistry. I want to be a teacher. I can do a 2-year after degree in education. So there's lots of different ways to become a teacher. You don't have to have it figured out already. We have our Faculty of Nursing, of course. This is a very popular program. It offers a state-of-the-art simulation labs for all of our students. In your first year, you're going to take part in some ethics. You're going to do work on your electives as well. And then in your upper years, you're going to move towards those 1,600 plus hours of clinical hours practicum that you need. Our coming School of Medicine, I do want to pause here and tell you that you do not apply directly to medicine from high school. You need to choose something else to begin your field of study first. So choose anything you're interested in to begin with. You could choose a Bachelor of Arts, you could do English, you could do dance, you could do sciences, you could do commerce. Pick something that you are interested in and passionate about first. That's your starting place to medicine. But we do offer 2 very unique degrees in the coming School of Medicine. The first, of course, is our Bachelor of Community Rehabilitation. This is a very unique degree, one of a kind in Canada. It is a highly interdisciplinary degree. You're going to see courses in sociology, psychology. There's some biology in there as well. So very highly interdisciplinary. You're going to have opportunities to take part in research. There are field practicums as well. Lots of opportunities for mentorship. Looking at things like working with individuals who have disabling conditions, chronic health, and things like that, and working around how do we make that the services accessible and whatnot. The other degree, of course, is our Bachelor of Health Sciences. It is an honors program, so it must be a first choice program on your application. We'll talk about that a little bit further. The Bachelor of Health Sciences is a program designed for students who are interested in health science research. It is a small cohort. These students will take part in classes on the main campus as well as the Foothills Hospital campus, and you're going to be involved in taking some courses together on both campuses, and then you'll also take some that are very unique to one of your 3 streams that you choose. If you're choosing the Bachelor of Health Sciences, you must choose which area you're interested in. It's either bioinformatics, which is looking at the computational approaches and tools, so the biology and medicine, that combination. Biomedical sciences is looking at the mechanisms of health and disease. And the third one is health and society. And this is looking at the social determinants of health. So looking at things like sociology, psychology, political science, the economic factors, and things like that that are shaping the health of individuals in the population. Those students in those 3 streams, they will study looking at different research topics from their 3 unique lenses. It might be the same topic, but they look at it under 3 different lenses. And they will also take part in conducting their own unique research in their 4th year as part of their capstone project as well, that they defend as part of their thesis. So that's a really exciting area for you as well. I do want to just mention overall, we also have a program that is housed for students who are interested, who maybe you're really well-rounded and you really enjoy both the humanities or the art side of things, as well as the science side of things, and you're having a hard time choosing, and you have an over 90% admission average, we would ask you to complete the supplementary application that's then reviewed by a panel for our Arts and Science Honors Academy. This comes after you've applied. We would ask you if you would like to take part in that program. It's a small cohort. You get exclusive access to 5 interdisciplinary courses, of course. So this way, maybe I'm in the Faculty of Science, and I get to take some arts classes, and I get to learn as well and keep those pieces going as well. You get some meaningful off-campus experiences, including cultural experiences, and you have a mentorship program as well that you're a part of. So lots of different opportunities. You're probably going to want to go to explore programs and do some exploring in there and figure out what you're interested in and figure out your choices from there. If you're not sure, of course, we have choosing a program here. We offer you some different ideas as well. You can see there's QR codes there. There's some degree profiles in there. There's also the career wheel too to help you figure out what is it you're looking at. So you can start to get some ideas to help you choose from different areas in there. And of course, we always have our podcast that you're welcome to listen to as well. Hear from current students, hear from faculty and staff as well. Some of the things you're going to think about. So when you apply to the University of Calgary, you are applying to your major. Do not worry about your minor right now. You're going to select your major. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what a major is here. So in your major, so you're choosing your bachelor's program. What is it I want to study? I'm going to choose my bachelor's, my majors. There you require, for those of us that are doing our bachelor's degree, not the combined degrees, we're going to take 40 courses to complete our degree. If we're doing a combined program or a double major, things like that, it does take a little bit more courses. But let's talk about 40 classes. If I take 5 in the fall and 5 in the winter, that's 10 classes a year. In 4 years, I would complete my 40 classes. 15 to 20 of those 40 classes are going to make up the concentration of your major. There's going to be some very specific courses you're going to focus on and complete as your major in that major area, those degree requirements. So then you're thinking, Shannon, what happens with those other 20 to 25 classes that I have? What are they going to be? Well, the University of Calgary wants you to be really well-rounded students. We want you to become people who can problem solve, communicate, collaborate, be creative in lots of different areas. So these are going to be the courses that are going to be your electives, the open options and things like that, that are going to be the glue that holds your degree together. So if I'm in sciences, I might take a couple more humanities classes. I might take a social science class. If I'm in the humanities, I might end up taking a science class and things like that. You'll have lots of different options. So now if I take 2 French classes, for example, maybe one in my fall and one in my winter of my first year, and I do really well at it and I get a good mark, and I think, you know what, I enjoyed that. I'm going to take 2 more in my second year, 2 more in my third, and 2 more in my fourth. Pretty soon I have 8 to 10 classes, and that's what makes up your minor. So that's where you're not going to worry about declaring a minor in your first year. It's something that you will work towards choosing and work with your faculty advisor in your upper years as well. Now, there is an opportunity for those of you, you're thinking, well, it's still lots of classes, Shannon. You can get up to 2 minors on your degree. Know that if you go to 3 minors, you no longer have a major. You have what we call as an interdisciplinary degree. We also offer you the integrated embedded certificates. This is something I would encourage you to explore. It's a great way to enrich and add more to making your degree unique. They are right there, part of your course requirements and things like that, and it doesn't cost you anything extra as well. We've talked a little bit about those combined degrees already. That combined degree, Bachelor of Commerce combined with engineering, the Bachelor of Commerce combined with kinesiology, and of course, our education as well. So how do you apply to the University of Calgary? Well, applications are going to open on October 1st. So October 1st to March 1st is when you can apply. Your first step is going to be to Apply Alberta, and you're going to create an account for yourself there. The first thing you do when you go to Apply Alberta is write down the username and password that you are creating. Okay, so you need to write that down. I encourage you to write that down. And the reason I say write that down is you have lots of usernames and passwords going on in your world, and you're going to start creating quite a few more here as you start to apply to your post-secondary options. So when you apply to the University of Calgary, you're going to pick 2 program choices that you're most interested in. Your first choice program is the one you're most interested in, that you have the admission requirements for. If you are choosing an honors program, it must be a first choice program. If you are choosing, and then your second choice program, of course, choose something you're interested in. You have the admission requirements, and I always suggest something with a slightly lower admission average just in case. Okay, you're going to then pay the application fee. For those of you with Canadian credentials, it's $125 and $145 if you have international credentials. This is where your parents and guardians credit card is going to come into play. So you want to make sure that you've got your 2 programs all ready to go. So when you go to that Apply Alberta, you're going to put in some information. It will take you about 20 minutes to put it all in. I do suggest saving each screen as you go along in case it hiccups and dumps you back out. Then you're going to get to the end and it's going to ask you to choose your post-secondary. That's where you select the University of Calgary. It's going to ask you to create an EID, which is our version of a username, and a password. Chances are you won't be able to use the one that you had previously used for Apply Alberta or anything else you're using because there's some very specific criteria. Once you're in there, you're going to hear whoosh as all the information from Apply Alberta comes over to the University of Calgary application. Now it's pretty much a reading application. Please take your time and read through it. It's going to ask you what name do you want to be called. It's going to ask you for your social insurance number and things like that. You go along, you choose your programs. If you're adding a combined program, that's where you put it in your first choice as well. And then you go through, you check all the boxes, and then you put the credit card in. We do need that credit card to pay for that application fee so that we can actually see who you are and we can begin to request your transcript. For those of you, because you are Calgary students, if you have studied in Calgary or Alberta for all 3 years of high school, we will request your transcript from Alberta Education on your behalf after you apply. If you studied outside of Alberta or outside of Canada for grade 10, 11 or part of grade 12, you are going to need to make sure that we get your transcript from your education ministry as well. It's really important on your education history that you're putting in on those applications. Please remember you started high school in September 2019 for most of us, and then you're graduating from high school in June 2022. If you have taken courses outside of your other high school that you're normally attending, so maybe you took summer school classes or you did a travel class somewhere else through another board of education or another school, make sure you're including that on your application. If you are somebody who is doing advanced placement or the IB program, you need to include that as well on your application as well. It's part of your education history. So we are a mark-based university. You're going to hear me say this lots. I encourage you to apply early. And here's why I want you to apply early. Because we do rolling admission. We are going to look at your application more than one time. So if you apply in October, we're going to request your transcript. If you have the courses we need, the marks we need, you could get an offer earlier from us. You might get an offer in early December from us, for example. If we don't have quite enough information or enough grades, we may then wait till your first term is done. So that semester is done in February. We'll request your transcript around the middle of February. We'll then review your application again. So we're going to keep looking at your application to see if we can offer you a spot at the University of Calgary. So it's to your advantage to apply early. How does it work? So remember those 2 program choices? Well, the first thing you do when you apply, we're going to look at you for your first choice program. So can we give you an offer for that first choice program? If we can, we're going to send out that offer to you. You'll find that in your student center. We'll talk about that a little bit more here, but you'll find that offer there. We're not going to look at you for your second choice program because we've given you the program you said you most wanted. Now, if you don't have what we need just yet, maybe when you applied in October, November, you didn't quite have what we needed. Don't worry, we're going to look again in February, but maybe you didn't have what we needed for your first choice, but we right away went and looked at you for your second choice. If you get an offer for your second choice, that's great. Don't worry. Don't panic. We're still going to consider you for your first. So don't worry. You can even accept your second choice and it won't impact you being considered for your first choice. How does it work then? So if you've got these honors program or some of these supplementary or some of what I call these programs that are Mark Plus, they would be also ones you want to put on as your first choice. You want to apply early because you want access to these pieces so that you can start to prepare for those pieces. The Bachelor of Health Sciences honors program, remember it had to be a first choice program, but it has a supplementary essay. 24 to 48 hours after you apply, it's going to populate on your to-do list of things you need to do. You can click right on it and you can start preparing for that and answering those essay questions. They're open-ended questions. Then you have your dance and music has auditions. And of course, our visual studies has a portfolio requirement. So you may even hear about your second choice programs before you hear about these first choice ones because they have additional pieces that need to be done for afterwards and they have a further off deadline. With the Bachelor of Health Sciences, for those students that do submit their supplementary essay by early December, like December 1st, 2nd, that type of thing, you can be considered for early consideration for that program in February. Otherwise, if you finish it by the deadline in March, You will then hear about that program typically later into like the end of April, the 1st of May. So it's to your advantage to apply early to see these as well. Now, we do look for 5 faculty-specific high school courses from you. You can see here, English 30-1 is mandatory for all of those programs. And then it's going to be specific to the program you are applying to. So if I apply to the Bachelor of Arts in Law and Society, it's English 30-1, 3 30-level approved academic courses, and a 5th 30-level approved course or option. And you'll see on our Explore pages there, as well as on the admission requirements, you can see exactly which courses are on there. Bachelor of Science in Plant Biology, here you'll see it's English 30-1, Math 30-1, and then 2 of those 30-level sciences, and then a 5th course that's either at the 30-level academic or option. And then in the low 90s, that plant biology, just so you know, from high school is an honors program. You can, and if you not sure if you want to do plant biology right out of high school, you can always just choose biological sciences to start, and then you can choose that concentration down the road. We have our Bachelor of Kinesiology in Motor and Psychosocial Aspects of Movement, English 30-1, Math 30-1, Chemistry 30, Biology 30, and then a 5th 30-level academic course or option as well. The Bachelor of Science in Engineering is our most prescribed of all of our programs, and here's why. English 30-1, Math 30-1, Math 31, Chemistry 30, and then either Physics 30 or Biology 30. Let me explain by what I mean by that. So maybe I'm in grade 12 and I've taken my chemistry and I've taken my biology. I've never taken physics, or I only took physics 20, but I haven't, there's no room in my schedule. I never planned to take physics 30. But now I've discovered a little bit more about what engineering is, and I'm really excited about it. And this is the program I've chosen, and I have Biology 30. You apply to the University of Calgary for engineering. Those of you that do not have Physics 30, but you have Biology 30, you can be admitted to what we call the bioengineering pathway. So then what happens is in the summer, typically it's in that August month, you come up to the University of Calgary and you do our Bioengineering Summer Institute program, where you're going to get all the math and physics you need, so that come September, you start in that common first year with your fellow students, and then you move on through there and choose your majors as well. So you're probably wondering, Shannon, you told me I need all these 30-level classes. I'm in grade 12. I don't have these 30-level classes, but you also told me to apply early. I don't understand how that works. So what that means is we're going to look at your 20-level final grades until we see your 30-level final grade. So if you have English 20-1 as a final mark, but you don't have English 30-1 right now, we're going to use that English 20-1 final grade on your transcript as a placeholder till we see your 30-1 English mark. If you're somebody who in grade 11 or in the summer or whatever, between grade 11 and grade 12, maybe you finished Chemistry 30 or Biology 30, then we don't care about your Chemistry or your Biology 20. We want that 30 level. So once we have that 30 level mark, that's the one we're using, but we will use a 20 level placeholder for you until we see the 30 level. Here's an idea of some of the admitting averages that we have. These are estimated averages, of course. I do encourage you to reach out and explore those as well. Get great marks on those 5 required courses as well. So that's the average we're looking at, as your overall average on those 5 courses. So the University of Calgary, we are going to, for you Alberta students, for our Calgary students, we are going to do ongoing requests of your transcripts from Apply Alberta on your behalf. So we're going to request it after you apply to the University of Calgary. We'll request it again in February, typically mid-February. We will request it again after you finish your last semester in the end of June, and we typically get that around the middle of July. So really important for you to know is June 30th is the deadline upon which you must finish all of your high school courses for admission. So that's when they appear on your transcript. You will see here after you apply to the University of Calgary, you're going to be able to log into your My UCalgary account. You'll go to your Student Center portal. This is where you will check your to-do list. It populates 24 to 48 hours after you apply. You can do your awards application. You'll check the status of your application. That's where your offer will come. And eventually, after you've accepted your offer in the spring, you will register for your courses. Just something to point out about that to-do list. One thing you will notice as a Calgary student that appears on your to-do list, it will say, we need your Alberta high school transcript. Please don't worry, don't panic. The system puts it up there because we need it, but we have requested it on your behalf. There's nothing you need to do about that one. For those of you that are completing advanced placement or IB, you will need to make sure that we get those official results sent to the University of Calgary from the College Board or from the IB organization. If you're taking dual credit, you are considered a high school student as long as you have not completed more than 30 units, 10 courses. Make sure you include dual credit on your application. It is part of your education history. Additional information, as I mentioned, we are a marks-based university, but there is an opportunity for those of you that have excelled outside of your academics or who have overcome significant hardships. You might want to check the diverse qualifications portion of your application. If you do, you're going to need 2 references. So make sure you have 2 references with emails ready to go if you're going to check that box. So how do I define this diverse qualifications a little bit further for you? Maybe achieving excellence outside of academics. Maybe you are an Olympic training athlete, so your schooling has looked a little bit different because you've been away training, you've been competing, so you've been in and out of school of how you've been competing. That might be something that you would apply to. This isn't something we'd wish on anybody. Maybe you were hospitalized for an extended period of time and that impacted your grades in your grade 11 year or something like that, or grade 10, and that impacted those grades. That might be something that would impact those overcoming significant hardships. Something you should know about diverse qualifications, it does not apply to those programs that is an honors program, so your first choice program, because diverse qualifications is applied to for your first choice program. And what that means is we're going to look at it under your first choice program under diverse qualifications. So if it's an honors program, we don't look at it for diverse qualifications at all, and it's only for your first choice. So, but we also are going to still continue to look at you and when you apply under diverse qualifications under what we call regular admission. Can we admit you based on the 5 required courses that you need for admission to your program? If yes, we're going to send you that offer out either for your first or your second choice program right away. And the reason is we can do that much faster because diverse qualifications students don't hear on those portions until typically mid-May. Here's a little bit of information about that application process. First, begin by researching your program choices. Of course, go to that Explore Programs. Applications open on October 1st. Remember to submit that application fee so that we know you exist. You're no longer in the cyber ethers and we can start reviewing your application. You have until March 1st to make any changes you want or edit your application. Please, if you get an offer and then you change your mind about what you want to do, before you make any changes to your application, once you have an offer, please reach out and ask me before you do that so we can talk about all those options before you do anything that around your application on that as well. Sorry, we're going to talk about the awards in a moment here, but the awards applications open on October 1st and they close either December 1st or March 1st. I have a question here that says, I'll get back to that one. May 1st is when you're going to have a deadline to accept your offer by and pay your deposit. So undergraduate awards applications, as soon as that opens on October 1st, and you can access them if you've applied. There's over $17 million in awards money there available to you. Once you become a student at the University of Calgary, please remember to apply for continuing awards as well. For scholarships, those are based on your academic merit. So those are mark-based awards, or scholarships, pardon me. Bursaries have a financial need component, and awards have multiple criteria. So they might be looking at your part-time job, your leadership, your volunteering, your marks, and your financial need, or whatever it is. Here's a little summary of them all. When you apply to the University of Calgary, you are automatically considered for what we call our automatic entrance awards. President's Admission Entrance Scholarship is valued at $5,000 for those of you that have a 95% or higher on your admission average. If you're doing the IB program, you can receive the IB Entrance Scholarship with a score of 35 or higher for the $2,000. You don't do anything with the automatic awards. You just are automatically considered for them. The Prestige Awards has a deadline of December 1st. These are our high value awards. So they're going to have to spend a little bit of time doing some information in there. You might have to provide us with a personal profile, answer an essay question, put in some information about your leadership, your volunteering, your extracurricular, your marks, things like that. Lots more information. You may even be asked to sit a short interview with us as well. But these are the renewable ones. And the high school awards, of course, it closes March 1st, and there's lots in there as well. One application for Prestige, you'll be considered for everything under Prestige. One application for the high school awards, you'll be considered for it. So I always say to students, start by beginning. Once you apply, do the Prestige Awards, submit it by December 1st, and then move on to, during your winter break, your January exams, and work on that high school entrance award and complete it by March 1st as well. You can see there's that automatic admissions awards I was talking about. Every high school gets to nominate one Schulich Leader Scholar. So I encourage you to reach out to your high school, find out what that criteria is for your school. The University of Calgary is one of the 20 institutions that participate in this Schulich Leader Scholarship. We welcomed, once again, 6 new recipients to the University of Calgary this fall, 3 in engineering and 3 in science. So it's $100,000 for engineering and $80,000 for the other STEM programs. There is, of course, an external site. We don't administer these, but this gives you some idea of some other awards and scholarships that you can also apply for as well when you're looking for money. How much is it going to cost for me to attend the University of Calgary? Well, I invite you to go to the cost estimator on our website and play with that as well. You can see here, it gives you a rough idea. General fees, I didn't mention our transit pass to you when I first started talking. I was a little too excited this morning. So when you become a student at the University of Calgary, you're going to get a U-Pass. That's a little sticker that goes on the back of your university card. It allows you to ride the train, the transit system in Calgary to the campus, around the city, to your part-time job, to volunteering, to go meet up with friends, whatever it is, 24/7, September 1st till April 30th. You have your health and your dental plan as well as part of your general fees. If your parent or guardians are going to keep you on their health or dental plan, you'll be able to actually opt out of that. There is quite a range there in the books and supplies, of course, between $400 and $1,000. Sort of, they give you a rough idea. Part of that depends on what program are you in, whether you're buying new or used textbooks, whether you're renting and things like that. If you're not going to live on campus or take part in our meal plan, you can always remove those from your costs as well. Once again, the timeline, October 1st to March 1st is when you apply to the University of Calgary. Residence application opens up January 1st. You must accept your offer by May 1st for those of you that get an offer before that and have paid your deposit. In early May, you'll get an opportunity to register for your courses for the fall. You're going to build your own schedule for fall and winter. And all high school courses must be completed by June 30th because August 1st is our transcript deadline. 5 reasons to choose the University of Calgary. I always invite students to think about how are you going to engage, how are you going to inspire, how are you going to create your UCalgary memorable experience for yourself. We have our open house coming up. It is a virtual open house on October 2nd. Please use that QR code and you can register for the event. There's going to be lots of opportunities for you to learn about different things, whether through campus tours. That'll be a virtual campus tour. There's faculty fairs. There'll be discovery sessions as well. If you're looking for more information, of course, we have a number of upcoming events. So we offer different faculty information nights as well. So maybe you want to learn more about social work, though you can't apply to that directly out of high school, but you're wondering more about that program, or nursing or engineering or sciences or anything else. This would be a great opportunity for you to get involved in that. Currently, we are offering virtual campus tours. So you can just go ahead and book a virtual campus tour for any Friday. And we'll go from there as well. I'm going to see if we have any questions over in our chat now. And I know that Camille has already sent me one, so I'm going to look at that as well. This is my contact information, calgary.recruiter@ucalgary.ca. I am your person. I'm here to champion and be your cheerleader for all things UCalgary. I'm going to watch out for your application, and I invite you to connect with us in lots of different ways, whether that's through our podcast, you want to give them a listen, maybe you want to connect with us on our Facebook or our Instagram as well. All right. So one of the questions I see here, is it possible to do 2 honors programs? So ideally, you don't want to do, your honors program is your first choice program. You shouldn't pick 2 honors programs because, first of all, your application won't let you pick 2. But if you pick 2 honors programs, you're picking something that has got 2 very small cohorts. And if you may not actually, even if your marks are great, they might both fill before you could hear about them. But on your application, you have to choose the honors program as your first choice. Health sciences must be your first choice because it has a supplementary application. If you try and put health sciences as anything other than first choice, you won't get this supplementary application and it won't trigger the application properly for you. Your second choice program should be something that is a little bit different that you're interested in. So maybe if I choose a Bachelor of Health Sciences honors as my first choice, for example, I might choose biological sciences or chemistry as my second choice because I really love sciences. Remember, there is opportunities for you to pursue an honors program in the upper years of your program. So if I don't get into honors plant biology, for example, from high school, I can still start in biological sciences and in my upper years choose that plant biology concentration, and I can still choose to pursue an honors in upper years. Remember, some programs don't offer honors out of high school either. So like, for example, if I went into the Bachelor of Commerce, accounting, I can't do honors in accounting from high school. I have to wait and declare that and work with my program in my upper years to have that piece anyways. So there's lots of ways to become and pursue honors from onward as well. If you were looking at trying to do 2 honors programs, you would have to actually edit your application, and it's really not recommended, because if you don't, it's possible you might not get into any, and then what would you be doing? So I would encourage you to reach out. Maybe let's explore this a little bit further for yourself as well. All right, what other questions do we have?
I'm just going to read out a couple ones that I think everyone would benefit from hearing. So there's a question. So if the 20 level results are placeholders for early admission, if the results for 30 level courses are not good enough, then would the admission offered early based on 20 level results be nullified?
Please don't do that. So your 20 level courses are the placeholders because you don't have a 30 level. If you have a 30 level, remember that's what we're using. When you get your offer, all of us in high school, we're getting what we call as a conditional offer. It's because we haven't finished high school. We haven't finished all of our coursework. So your offer, when you get it from the University of Calgary, it will say it's conditional. Some of those conditions are you must finish high school. You must finish those 5 required courses for your program. English 30-1 is one of them, as well as any items on your to-do list. And then you must maintain your competitive admission average. So keep focusing on your schoolwork. You want to focus and continue to get those same good marks that got you the offer to the University of Calgary. In about end of March, early April, it will actually be posted inside your student center. What is the final competitive admission average you must maintain for your program? It's really important that you look at it, and it will tell you exactly what that final competitive admission average you need to, that's the minimum or higher that you need to be above. If you fall below that competitive admission average that you needed to maintain, it becomes a conversation that happens in August after we get your final transcript. It's a conversation that we don't want to have, but if we had to rescind your offer because you didn't finish high school, you didn't finish the 5 required courses, you don't have the average we need for that program anymore, yes, your offer can be rescinded. So please don't let your foot off the gas pedal just because you get an offer to the university. Keep studying hard, keep trying to work hard, and keep those marks up, okay? It's really important you do your best, okay?
All right. Another question. If a program requires English 30, it says only 1 language course allowed to apply, but it lists French 30 as an approved course to apply. Does the English course count as that language course, or does it mean other than English? So for all of our programs, English 30 is a requirement. 30-1 is a requirement. You are other language courses, such as French, is an approved course or options. So it is another language course apart from English language arts. So it's just saying you can't offer both French and Spanish as an approved course or options, only one of those.
That's correct. That's correct.
Cool.
There's a question in here that says, how does the calculation of one's average work for the President's Scholarship and things like that? So we are a mark-based university. We are calculating your admission average on those 5 required courses, English 30-1 plus 4 more courses. Your President's Admission Scholarship, that $5,000 entrance scholarship, is based on English 30 on your 5 required courses for your program. So English 30-1 plus 4 more.
Perfect.
Okay. Any other questions you want me to answer in there?
Let's see. Oh, I think this one's a good one. Do you take the average of the 5 courses required for an undergrad, or are they looked at individually? So we actually, Sorry, go ahead, Jen.
So it's the overall average on those 5 required courses. So we're looking at the overall average on those 5 courses. There may be a specific mark requirement on some programs, so you might want to explore that. If you're not sure and you can't find it, you can always ask us. So there might be a minimum 70% required for Math 30-1, for example, for a program, things like that. Okay, but most programs, it's just the overall average on those 5 courses, and you must pass all 5 courses, okay? So there can't be a mark below 50% on those courses at all.
Yeah,
There's a
Shannon.
question in here that wants to know, how will we know which programs are honors and which ones aren't? You can see actually on the, if you've got a copy of the view book or you download the view book, you'll see that, and also on the website, you can see that as well. So neuroscience, for example, says honors, and it says direct entry from high school, Bachelor of Health Sciences, zoology, plant biology, cellular, molecular, microbiome, things like that. If you're having a hard time discerning that, you can always reach out and email me, and I'm happy to explore which ones you're interested in as well.
May I know how dual credit programs are factored into admission evaluation?
All right. So you're going to have for most of you, your dual credit is going to be an option course. Okay. So that would become that 5th course. And then we're just looking to see if it's on the approved list. You will have a high school mark. You will have that other post-secondary mark. So we're going to see, probably we'll get both transcripts, but we'll be using that high school mark if we can use that course as part of your admission average calculation. I hope that answers that question.
And I'm sorry if we don't get to your question today. I will make note of the questions that we may not get to, and I'll make sure that we can follow up. And again, like Shannon said, if you have any other questions, you can always feel free to reach our team and the Calgary recruiter email right here.
All right. I think our time is coming to an end here. So please, I hope you either scan that QR code at the front. You can email me at calgary.recruiter@ucalgary.ca. Please reach out. I'm happy to answer any additional questions you have. And I thank you very much for joining me this morning. And I'm looking forward to welcoming you in the future to the UCalgary community. So thank you all so very much. Thank you, Camille, for helping out today. We will talk to you guys all really soon. Thanks, everyone. Bye.